Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Today you find me in La Villa Rose.
Villa Rose.
What does that mean? Well, it means the Pink City. The Pink City being Toulouse. Why is it called the Pink City? Not because the pink flag is here or there's lots of pinkness.
Look how pink, so pretty.
Well, there is a little bit actually. It's because a lot of the buildings are made of pink terracotta bricks. Maybe this one, for example, even though this is a modern building. Pink terracotta bricks. It's the home to 100,000 students.
I know Monsieur Duguay. He was a lecturer in Toulouse.
It's a bit of a city. It's the home to the French aerospace industry.
4, 3, 2, unité, top.
This is the home to Airbus. This is the home to, if you're building rockets in France, Toulouse is your base. Now I'm just on the north side of the city and I'm walking through the Japanese garden. Well, not walking through, I've just entered it. I'm gonna go check it out and see what we see. Now this is absolutely insane. Starting one of my videos, and anyone that knows my videos from Ukraine will know my total obsession when it comes to exploring and stumbling across statues dedicated to the Ukrainian nationalist Taras Shevchenko. And here, literally in the first place I enter in Toulouse, I've discovered a statue dedicated to Taras Shevchenko, although spelt slightly differently. You noticed here, it's in Ukraine it will be, well, they use the Ukrainian alphabet, but in the English it's SH. Here it's CH. But this is the Ukrainian nationalist, 1814 to 1861. I love the fact he's here. He's in the north side of the Toulouse city. He's on the edge of the Japanese garden. The poet, the writer, you know it from my other videos. You know how special he is. He surpasses people like Charles Dickens. He's that impressive. And to find him in the Japanese garden, I'm not seeing any I literally walked over here thinking, what's that white block? You see that? I was thinking, what's the white block? No idea. I hadn't really looked on the map. I had done no research on Toulouse. I've been to Toulouse many times, but I'd never made a video. And then suddenly stumbled across Taras Shevchenko. It's a good start to a video, I say. Well, welcome to another one of my videos. Thank you to all of my subscribers for getting me over the 44,000 subscriber mark. Who knows when you're watching this? It could be less, it could be more. A big thank you if you are one of those subscribers. It does help this channel grow, evolve. And if you haven't done so, what's stopping you? This park seems to be a medley of amazing little statues. For example, this guy, Carlos Gardel. He was a Frenchman born in Toulouse. He moved to Argentina and he basically became the king of tango. Actor as well, but celebrated here. Bit of a monument to him. And over here in the distance, we have a bit of funky music playing. So this is all right, isn't it? There's no Japanese theme so far. Maybe I'm just not looking right. But we've got like a guy playing his live music over here. It's all quite fantastic. When you think of Toulouse, you think of this very big, sprawling, industrial place, a place of innovation. I'm glad I've started at the north side of the city. I started at this place called the Appart'hôtel. It's just basically an apartment. Well, it's a hotel room with a small little kitchen.
It's a Class C chateau and it has a kitchen and a dinette and a bed.
This little park, it reminds me of Chisinau. So remember the park of statues? This park reminds me of that. It's a really relaxing little place. Finally, we got a sign that there's a bit of Japanese influence because it is called the Japanese Garden. I think over here is the first sign of Japanese. I think we're starting to see why I may have mistaken this place for the Japanese garden. The Japanese garden is just this little area over here, fragment of the park, whereas the rest of the park is actually called this. So I got it slightly wrong, but I got too enthusiastic. And it turns out on the map, this is all enclosed. I don't know if this is a private area. You've got to pay to get in. Let's see if I lift this up, you can have a quick look. You can look over the wall. It turns out this place is absolutely free to visit. This is the Japanese garden, not the big park I was in earlier. It is nestled inside the larger Compans-Caffarelli park. It's truly a masterpiece of tranquility, and it was designed in 1981. It was inspired by traditional Japanese aesthetics and principles, making it a rare find in this bustling European city. Now, the garden spans some 7,000 square meters and offers everything you'd expect from a classical Japanese landscape.
a vibrant red arch bridge over the koi-filled pond, a meticulously raked Zen garden for meditation, and a quaint wooden tea pavilion that feels straight out of Kyoto. And if you time it right, you'll also find cherry blossom, I'm told, in this beautiful Japanese garden, and maples adding a splash of seasonal colour. It is a perfect spot to unwind and just simply recharge. And I have to say, I really enjoyed just walking through this garden. And what makes it even better is how seamlessly it blends from Toulouse's modern vibe while offering a slice of Eastern tranquility. Now, whether you're wandering around like myself, taking in the carefully arranged stones symbolising the mountains and islands, or simply sitting by the pond or watching the koi swim lazily, you can't help but feel a sense of peace. But best of all, like I say, this is completely free. So no queues, no tickets, just the Zen vibes waiting for you to explore. And I have to say, a must visit if you're on this side of Toulouse and you're looking to escape the noise of the traffic.
I'm always reminded when Donald Trump met the Japanese Prime Minister and he was feeding the koi carp, a very similar thing, at a Japanese pagoda or a Japanese, is that pagoda? Japanese building, and I'm standing on a Japanese bridge right now, but this is nice. I'm glad it lives up to its name as the Japanese garden, but look at these guys coming solo, wanting a bit of food. Look at that. Well, just leaving this park, if it's called the Japanese garden, maybe it is. I couldn't quite work it out what the name of the park is, but it's a beautiful little park and a nice little bit of peacefulness before you get into the major city. So I'm going to approach the city from the north side of it, walking past the Mercure Hotel here. Mercure Hotel, nice place to stay. I haven't stayed in this one, but I've stayed in many around the world and they're usually pretty good. But let's continue, see what adventures await. So this is as far north in the city as I'm going to go. The chalet is over here, this corner over here, but I'm heading towards the Basilica, which is this way. This is a nice sort of interchange, the corner of the, well, it's the north part of the city. I know locals are going to say you're not even that far north, but in terms of city centre north, it feels like this is the north. Now we're going to bring ourselves round onto the sort of pedestrian area, underground parking, barriers to stop people getting run over. Feels a little bit safer as we move away from the road into quiet, sleepy France, walking past a wine shop, Café à Vins. And like, what's very noticeable about this part of France, and to be honest, all of the south of France really, are the shutters and all of the buildings. Some of them got blinds over here. These guys have got the shutters. This is very traditional. And what tends to happen is you go through sleepy towns, it looks almost empty. It looks like there's no one around because they basically leave their shutters closed all summer just to basically stop their houses getting so hot. It's pretty rare that houses will all have air conditioning. So what tends to happen is keep everything dark and away from the sun. It keeps the house cool. The buildings in this part of France are very solid stone, solid brick. Keeps them cool. Unlike in the States where everything's made of wood, here everything's made of bricks or stone. As we come out of the little narrow streets, we find ourselves with the Basilica of Saint-Sernin. He was a saint who dates back to 250 AD from Toulouse itself. And they say that this was built around the 13th century, but it was built in parts, so 1250 up till 1350. This is a Romanesque basilica, and it is insanely impressive. It's huge. What we're going to do, I hope, we're going to see if we can get inside to see how big this thing looks from the inside.
This basilica wasn't just your average medieval church. It was, and still is, a cornerstone of the famous Camino de Santiago, the legendary pilgrimage route leading to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. Pilgrims from all corners of Europe would pass through Toulouse, drawn to its majestic structure, often leaving with a renewed sense of faith. Or let's be honest, incredibly sore feet, and they still do it today. It's now become an epic tourist trail. I'm actually thinking of doing that trail in the near future, so watch this space. As I stated earlier, construction on the Basilica of Saint-Sernin began in the 11th century and spanned well into the 13th century. This wasn't some quick weekend DIY project, it was a labour of devotion and craftsmanship. The bulk of the work was completed in the 12th century, cementing it as one of the largest and most exquisite examples of Romanesque architecture in all of Europe. But it didn't stop there. The towering bell tower, the piece de resistance, came later in the 13th century, showcasing an emerging Gothic influence. Imagine the vision required to create something that would dominate the skyline for nearly 1,000 years. And why was it built here, you might ask? Well, the basilica is named after Saint-Sernin, or Saint-Sernin, the very first bishop of Toulouse. Now, according to legend, he met a rather grim end. He was martyred in 1250 AD by being tied to a bull and dragged through the streets by the Romans. His relics, revered by pilgrims, are enshrined within the basilica itself, making it a spiritual magnet for centuries. Now, inside the basilica is just as awe-inspiring. The nave stretches nearly 70 meters, an architectural marvel designed to accommodate throngs of pilgrims. Look up and you'll notice the breathtaking vaulted ceilings, an engineering feat for its time. The ambulatory, a sort of circular walkway behind the altar, is dotted with radiating chapels, each housing relics of treasures brought back by pilgrims or commissioned by devout patrons. But it's not just the architecture of the relics that capture the imagination, it is the artistry. The basilica is adorned with intricate carvings and sculptures that tell stories from the Bible, almost like a medieval graphic novel. The portal, with its detailed depictions of Christ in majesty, has been wiring visitors for centuries. And let's not forget the organ, which has been serenading worshippers since the 17th century. Imagine the sound filling this vast space, lifting the spirits of all who hear her. So why is the Basilica Saint-Sernin so significant? Well, it's really to do with the role of the Camino Santiago, or its place in the heart of Toulouse. What I love about it is it shows ambition, faith, and the artistry of medieval Europe. It has stood through wars, revolutions, and the passage of time, remaining an enduring symbol to Toulouse's identity and its history. Standing here today, I can't help but marvel at how this building, created stone by stone nearly a millennium ago, continues to inspire awe. Whether you're here for the architecture, the history, or simply to soak in its spiritual aura, the Basilica Saint-Sernin is a must-see that transcends the ages. And as you can see, I'm quite fond of it.
A dramatic difference in the entrance. The entrance I went into was all under construction, but the side entrance, what a beautiful entrance. And as I put my hat back on, we can keep on exploring, because that was magnificent, I have to say. What a fantastic place. And I know sometimes some of my critics say I take a little bit too long in the old churches, but when they're as beautiful as that, I think you can hopefully understand why. We've got a man playing his music here right beside us, just enjoying the vibe. And we've got, as you can see, why it's called Pink La Villa Rose. All these pink bricked buildings over here. Heads down in this direction, the pink bricked buildings. If I can get the camera tracking me.
The pink bricks, unique to this region, give the streets an almost magical glow in the sunlight, a reminder of Toulouse's identity as both a trading powerhouse and a cultural melting pot. As we wander these streets, it's worth noting that Toulouse was once a hub of the Occitan culture, a medieval realm of poetry, music, and let's be honest, probably some really spicy political intrigue. You can almost feel it in the air, especially in these narrow cobbled streets, which seem tailor-made for knights, troubadours, and perhaps a dodgy deal or two. As we walk towards Capitole, keep an eye on the shop windows and facades. They give a real glimpse into the city's historical wealth. Capitole is considered the beating heart of Toulouse, where politics, power, and everyday life have converged for over 8 centuries. Also, if you're appreciating this content, do click that like button, maybe comment below, because it really helps the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why not? Click that subscribe button.
It is a Thursday late afternoon, evening time, and we're just walking now into the main plaza square. And as you can see, it's a hive of activity, a lot of people around here. A few buses, guys telling me to get out of the way, cyclists trying not to get run over by. The Centerville, this is the free electric Centerville bus. If you wanted to ride on it, it's free. It's gratuit. free. Look at this. As we're trying not to bump into this bus that's just in front of us. All these people sat down having their little cafes or coffees. As we try to move past the free bus. The Plaza Hotel right up in front of us. Cafe Albert. It's actually really nice down here. This is I came to Toulouse many years ago. This guy's going to run me over. I've been to Toulouse many times, but I just really haven't taken the time to sort of just enjoy for a city that it is. I think it's the hazard of sometimes not appreciating what's on your doorstep, and I think Toulouse is definitely one of those cities. I have to say, I love what they've done to this building called the Capitole building. Look at this. All these beautiful French flags. Yes, says the Englishman, lots of beautiful French flags. Magnificent.
If you can believe it, this square was once part of the medieval city moat. It protected the Capitole from invaders, and over time it's transformed into this bustling hub of civic life that we see today. It's kind of a blend of old and new, where locals and tourists alike enjoy the open space while being surrounded by centuries of old architecture, and I have to say, I really like it.
It actually shades me. This is quite amazing. So as we walk out of the main plaza, past the Capitole building, as this has been a place of significance since basically the 12th century, we try not to get run over one of the many underground car parks that are dotted all over Toulouse. They like their underground car parks. Very efficient city, Toulouse. It's probably less appreciated than a lot of French cities. I'm starting to wonder why I haven't been here more often. It brings back memories of why I used to avoid it.
Sorry to interrupt the video on Toulouse, but this video is sponsored by this incredible chess set, a travel companion that's as classy as it is clever. Now, I've been to a lot of places, I've played a lot of games of chess all over the world, on a lot of wobbly tables. But this right here, this is something else. Crafted from solid wood and no paint in sight, just a natural grain and texture. It's like an artesian spirit of travel itself, right here on the board. And when you're on the go, like me, you need a set that can travel just as well. This one has built-in latches, so it keeps your pawns and your knights, and especially your queen, extra safe. I mean, who wouldn't want this kind of security in a chaotic world? Look at that. Look at that for organization. Crafted with solid wood, no paint in sight, just natural grain and texture. It's like the artisan spirit of travel all in one board. Look at that for a beautiful night. Look at that. Andrew Tate would be impressed. You want to see the queen? You want to see the queen? There's the queen. Not bad, eh? There's the white queen. The black queen. Just for equality purposes, we have the black queen, or the brown queen in this case. Oh, and did I mention it doubles up as a checkers set? These are checkers pieces. So look at that for versatility. So whether you're the grandmaster in training or just someone who loves a good game to pass the time, this set is an absolute gem. Check out the link in the description. It might just be the best travel partner you've ever had. A big thank you to the makers of the chessboard. The link is in the description. It really helps me and the sponsors of this video. If you choose to click it, do check it out. Now let's get back to the adventure in Toulouse.
As the sun goes down, we walk down this main shopping street where not really my cup of tea, but there's a lot of shops as we sort of head in a southerly direction away from the square. Everything from sunglasses to lingerie, shoes, you know, you name it.
Wake up, time to shop.
Cobble streets, nice and cool because we're not in the direct sunlight, but a shop for the ladies, I think. Place for the ladies, not a place for myself, who's not much of a shopper.
The historic architecture above each storefront reminds us that these streets have witnessed centuries of trade and culture. Keep an eye out for the patisseries tempting passers-by with a scent of fresh croissants, and don't miss the chance to explore the hidden courtyards tucked between the buildings. It's a perfect blend of old world elegance and modern day vibrancy, if you can ignore all the shoppers at least.
I love that only in France would you get Nutella pizza. Slice of Nutella pizza, something like €2.90. It's a weird one. I went to look on Google, which is what I normally do when I'm a little bit unsure of where I am. This little fountain in this beautiful square, and I say beautiful, look at this building right behind it. Look at the decoration. This is amazing. Still heading south, effectively just in a straight line heading south. No reviews for this fountain back here. Now, personally, if I wasn't banned from Google from giving reviews,
It must have been tough on you when you got banned.
Google even banned people from giving honest reviews and tells you everything you need to know, I would give that 5 stars just for the hell of it. Beautiful square, but we must continue on our southern journey just so we can get to the edge of the centre and then we'll come back in. I know we're not really learning too much in this video, but I'm glad that you're with me. What's a shame is I haven't actually been recording them all. I haven't recorded much actually. It's like sometimes I'm recording, sometimes I'm not. But one thing I've noticed, it seems every 25 meters there's a place that sells poke. Toulousians or people from Toulouse, they're absolutely obsessed with poke. I actually stopped off and had poke just after the Japanese garden. Once again, I didn't record it. I'm not one of those classic vloggers that's going, oh, look at my coffee, look at my food. Poke I had was pretty good, but these guys are obsessed with it. I love the name in this restaurant. They actually call themselves Junk. Burgers actually look really good though, but I'm not having it. What I have gone for is obviously from Carrefour, I've gone for myself a big bottle of water because I'm bloody hot. How much do you think this big bottle of water is? It's 1.5 litres. Guesses? 26 cents. That's a massive price. That is what water should be. Perfect. No, I just ate it, so.
Okay.
Amazing. Thank you. I think that's amazing. I've never seen an entire shop devoted to madeleines and a big brioche in the centre of those madeleines. But it was literally 6 varieties of madeleine. The lady let me try and also film, even though I wasn't buying. I'm stuffed actually. I'm not going to be buying any madeleines.
Dimanche aujourd'hui.
The one thing the French do better than anyone. It's not electronic music, it is wine. French wine is best in the world. It's better than Californian, it's better than Chilean, it's better than Spanish. It's better than Italian. The French do the best wine in the world, I have to say.
Yes, we're...
Magnifique.
We...
Always the best part about visiting France is sitting down, having a glass of vino, and just watching the world go by. That's what I would be doing right now if I wasn't filming for you guys. One thing is obvious though, the city does have some parts that are struggling. There are boarded up shops every once in a while. To be expected, we saw that after COVID in pretty much every city around the world. Every city was impacted by COVID and the whole world still hasn't quite recovered. London has started to come back to life, but there's still a lot of boarded up shops and it's the same here. But what is interesting is if you take these little quiet streets, well not quiet streets, these side streets away from the main arteries, it is quite a unique city. It has a kind of Spanish feel to it, has a French feel to it, has almost a Basque feel to it. There's a lot of different feelings I'm having from Toulouse. And it's strange that, well, how I was subjected to it as a child. I was rushed through the city with my parents when I was a child, not really appreciating the city. And it's clear that with all these benches that are dotted around the city, a lot of care and attention has gone to creating a beautiful place to live. I think they're doing it very well. I think this is a city that clearly has had a lot of love and attention by the municipal, is that how you say it? Probably not. By the council. And they really are enjoying. I'm sorry. But look at these old buildings. I mean, this is the benefit when you're the French and you surrendered straight away to the Germans. You got to save all your beautiful buildings. They didn't get bombed to smithereens. And to be honest, we did the same to them. Far worse if you look at places like Dresden. Nothing to do with me. You look at this balcony at the top there. Look at this. Just there. How beautiful is that? La Belle Avocate. It's a really, really beautiful city. But have you ever been anywhere in France that isn't beautiful? Obviously, you don't have to just get around Toulouse by walking or taking the various bikes. You could also be taking the metro. Palace of Justice obviously walked from wherever I was in the Japanese gardens all the way to the Palace of Justice for good reason. Look at this. Look at this beautiful statue over here. Amazing. Gotta have a closer look at this. I mean, it might not be the Trevi Fountain, but it is still magnificent. It's right outside the entrance to the Palace of Justice metro station. Really, really beautiful. People say a lot of crass things about Toulouse, but I think they probably need to take it back. This is clearly a city that has evolved into itself, and it has improved over the years. A lot more pedestrian areas. We have all these sort of barriers that separate pavements from the pedestrians. Some might call them diversity barriers, some might just call them safety barriers. Call them what you like, but it basically protects the people from the cars, the traffic, the vans, the trucks. No one's going to be mowing you down here, and these barriers are all over Toulouse. It's a very safe city to be walking around, at least for now it is. Obviously, if you want to get the tram to and from places, you can. This beautiful tram will zip you around the city. So far, I'm enjoying this afternoon walk in Toulouse. Can't say I've run into any problems. Only noticeable thing is the lack of French restaurants I've come across. A couple of Irish pubs, a lot of Japanese and Asian restaurants. Just walked past a Korean restaurant. First French place, look at this. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention. Maybe I start paying attention when I start getting hungry, but this is the first French one I've noticed. Might sit down and have a beer in a moment, because I reckon there's a few places that have happy hour going on.
Yeah, the super terrific happy hour.
Just walking past this beautiful building, another pink brick terracotta type building, but as I walk over here, I start to see, and you'll be able to see it in a moment, the Museum of Toulouse. Now this I do remember many, many years back, because it's past 6 o'clock now. I just checked on Google Maps and the Museum of Toulouse is closed. But this is actually a really nice museum. You get a chance to visit Toulouse and you're here for an extended period of time, and not here just for a brief walk around Toulouse. The Museum of Toulouse just here, if I can focus in on it. Worth your time, worth your energy. Yeah. Look at this, this is phenomenal, look. I often reflect on the millions of lives lost across Europe, and here I reflect on the thousands from Toulouse in both world wars. I'm struck at the sheer scale of the tragedy, where brothers were pitted against brothers, entire generations stolen, all to the benefit of the internationalists and the banksters who thrived on the chaos. Correct my expectations, this is the theatre. The next is the Museum of Toulouse. I got a little bit distracted because we got this thing warming us up for the Museum of Toulouse, which is just through these arches. But look at this beast. Bit of a beast. Theatrical. This is the Museum of Toulouse, just here, right next door. Yeah, part of the same building, and I think it stretches all the way back. Beautiful, beautiful. Just moved away from the promenade that led to a fountain that would have been at the end of the road, but we're not going to go there. We're going to go into the Royal Gardens, another beautiful garden. You think Toulouse is all buildings and lots of roads and aerospace? No, beautiful Royal Gardens, and this is one of them. What a fantastic evening. The only thing that's missing is a glass of French wine in my hand or a decent beer in my hand. That's all that's missing. Now, isn't that a remarkable way to put the sidings of a bridge in place? They've created this long, beautiful sidings of this bridge that goes through the Jardin Royals, and they've made these beautiful low benches. So you notice my knees and where my knees are. Let's see if you can see my knees. I can't. Let's get them down here. Getting filmed by someone here. Look at my knees. They're down here. Look at that. I can't focus this camera. This bloody camera. There we go, that's who's filming me. I'm now heading down this very narrow street because I'm heading to this little wine place that also has beer, so it ticks both boxes. Called La Salamanza. So hopefully when I get down this street, I will have found a treat, but also a thirst quencher. But look at these beautiful, look at this, look, you see? Look at, this is fantastic, I think. I'm not much of a shopper, but I have to say I'm impressed by the boutiques I have gone in. Each place has a sort of independent vibe to it. Something that I hate to say is lacking with a lot of British shops. The globo homo corporate nature of the United Kingdom, it basically has put all of the independent businesses out of business, and now we're subjected to chain after chain after chain. But here we are, we're at the La Salamanza. Let's check this place out. Hopefully, from what my understanding is they have good wine, they have good beer. Let's check it out. So obviously fitting for the Toulouse, the place for aviation Toulouse, they call their local beer Aviator, so nice design, or classical design, and this is decent hoppy ale. Yeah, I like it. Honestly, I wouldn't have a clue I was in Toulouse if you dropped me here. This is so much different to my last experiences in Toulouse. Wonderful beer back there.
Del, let me have another beer.
Nice bit of wine. Now on to get a little bit of cassoulet. Now they say you should really only eat cassoulet at home because it takes 3 days to basically eat. But I'm craving a little bit of cassoulet, so go have some, maybe a Toulouse sausage or something, and enjoy it. No nul. Maloko. Alright, I'm already hopeful because it's off the beaten track. It's on a side street. They only take cash, which is a beautiful thing. Cash is king. And now we have this menu on the back. This is the menu. And then we have the wine menu. I think this is a good wine menu. Let's see how we do. Cassoulet country. Castelnaudary is a town not too far from Toulouse, and Castelnaudary is where Cassoulet comes from. But Toulouse is obviously the big metropolis that's closest to the small town of Castelnaudary. So I thought, why not? Let's have a cassoulet. Can't go wrong. Basically sausage, haricot beans, and duck leg. Fantastic. As the night draws in, it's almost dark, and I've just exited the beautiful La Gouaille. Fantastic cassoulet, one of the best cassoulets I've had in a long time. The Corbière wine was fantastic. Everything about it was fantastic. I'm going to sign this video off because the night is young and the battery is low. So if you enjoyed this content, click that subscribe button and click that like button. And until next time, bonsoir, bonne nuit, à bientôt.